Hello, this is Maddie, and I am here to deliver my speech on gender role stereotyping. And this is my audience. Okay. So, gender role stereotyping. As parents, many of us begin gender stereotyping between boys and girls before our child is even born. Starting with the ritual of decorating a baby's room in anticipation for their arrival. Um, and while we can try to avoid the most obvious stereotypes, painting a girl's room pink or a boy's room blue, um, and embellish each with their own appropriate sports themed or ballerina themed decorations, not too many people opt for the more neutral themes such as safari, musical, or creative use of shapes and colors. So why all the fuss? What harm can really be done by ballerinas and spaceships based on the gender of the child? And it is within this that I hope to explore the role gender stereotyping that it plays within our children. I want to explore that if it's something that can really be avoided or not. So two things that I'd like to touch on. One is, what are the different gender roles that we place on our children every day? And is gender role classification avoidable? Does it cause long-term harm, or is it just something that comes and goes as children and become teenagers and young adults and start to form their own identity? So my first quote states that anecdotal evidence suggests that when an infant is dressed in blue, passerby say how smart he looks. And if that same baby is dressed in pink, people will say how pretty she is. Boys' clothing is often decorated with cars and trains, while girls' clothing rarely is. And I got that quote from people.mills.edu, and there will be, of course, a page with all my links on there. I've really been to a baby shower where the gender of a child is unknown. And if it is known, that the parents will then ask for neutral gender-specific gifts. At an early age, children are looking to identify their gender. What does it mean to be a girl? What does it mean to be a boy? And these gender roles are often reinforced without realization in small things like, look how pretty she looks in her dress, or what a handsome little boy. And how else would you describe how a girl looks in her dress or how a boy looks in his suit without using gender-specific descriptions? Even chores around the house have become gender role specific. Another quote that I found states that boys are more likely than girls to have maintenance chores around the house, such as painting and mowing the lawn, while girls are more likely to have domestic chores, such as cooking and doing the laundry. This assignment of household tasks by gender leads children to link certain types of work with gender, end quote. And I got that from gozips.uakron.edu. So even as I say that, I think of my own faults. My son picks up dog poop outside, while my daughter will pick up around the house. My daughter's room is painted pink, and my son's room is painted blue. My son has sports-themed bedding, and my daughter has frilly pink and purple curtains. I think that some sort of gender inclusion in a child's day-to-day life is virtually impossible. I believe that even if it's minimized at home, they'll still come in contact with gender role-specific subject matter at places like daycare, school, at the grocery store, within their own peers. The bigger question, I think, is even if the home is kept as neutral as possible, will the children still be drawn to their gender-specific roles by seeing those toys at the store? Quote that I found, between the ages of 3 and 5, children develop their identity and begin to understand what it means to be male or female. Almost immediately after becoming gender aware, children begin developing stereotypes, which then they apply to themselves and others in an attempt to give meaning and gain into understanding their identity. And I got that from southern-early-childhood.org. I think it's easy to place blame on the toy makers and on the media, society, saying that they're the problem and they can continue to perpetuate the problem. And this is true to a point, but I think the bigger responsibility lies within the parents, child's teacher, to encourage equality and avoid gender bias conversations, insinuations, or activities. But even as a family or an institution and you discourage the gender roles as much as you can, a person can never underestimate peer influence. A quote that I found is Ascertaining peer group influence is among elementary school age children, and the formation of friendships is crucial to the development of a child's self-concept. I got that at gozips.uakron.edu. Gender roles are developed as children carry into early adulthood. I do believe that these roles become less intensified in their exhibition, but they will always exist in an underlying way. All of this is, of course, placed in a very simplistic way, not taking into account if a person is homosexual, bisexual, or transgendered. I found a quote, lastly, that I felt really summed up my thoughts, and it goes, "While we can't change the gender roles that are pushed on our children by society, we can help them adjust in a healthy way by providing a home environment that is flexible and open. Allow your son to cry and allow your daughter to play in mud." And I got that last quote from voices.yahoo.com. Thank you.